Hey, what's happening, Roland? Well, today is Friday. In fact, it's June the 14th. And hey, guess what? I finally finished my boat. I'm all ready to go. I got this big giant trip going, and I'm ready to go. In fact, I'm going down to Mexico in just in fact, I'm flying out of Houston Wednesday morning, and I'll be in Mexico Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so that's what I got these rods for. These rods are all set up for that. And I got, hey, let me give you some travel tips. You can buy all sorts of rod cases, but what I buy and what we all do, and it's really, really indestructible, is get to some heavy duty PVC pipe like this one and put an end cap on it like this one right here. And now it's so strong. I can take all these rods. Well, I'm not going to just take a couple right now to just show you, but they fit down in here, and they all fit fine. And they're just the right length. Anyway, I got some padding down there, and that will be the deal. I can make that thing really, they're indestructible. I've never had a problem with the rod case like this. And I even put a handle on it. You notice? Well, the handle's gone right now, but I normally have a handle on it. And the PVC pipe. Okay. And you might notice this boat's all ready now. Now, in fact, let me just show you what I'm doing. Pedro Soares is this Mexican fellow that actually works for Bass Pro Shop, and Pedro and I have done a lot of film work, and we're going down to Sugar Lake this next week, and it's across the Mexican border. We fly into McAllen out of Houston, and we go down there, and he's going to pick me up. He has a nitro boat just like this one. It's 21-foot nitro. He has it down there in Mexico. It's all registered, all ready to go. He's a Mexican guy. Okay, what he told me to get was to get a bunch of the trench hogs by Guggen, the Guggen trench hogs for a worm, and I've never really used them, so that's one whole deal. The other thing I like, and this is my whole deal, I like this big old heavy jig. This is a 3/4 ounce Metlock jig, double weed guard, and I'll put a big chunk on the back of it like this, and I'll throw that combination into some bushes. I've caught some 10-pound bass on that. That's my main source of 10-pound fish in Mexico. I've caught a bunch of them on that. The other thing I throw down there in Mexico, it's really, really a big deal, is a spinnerbait. Now, the biggest bass I've ever caught was a 14-something, actually two 14s, and they were both caught on a spinnerbait. Not this spinnerbait. I was using my Roland Martin Big Bass spinnerbait, but now I'm using Jimmy Houston's Redman spinnerbait. This is really kind of a neat deal. Now, recently, let me tell you about the Redman spinnerbait. 50 years ago, Jimmy came up with this thing, and recently, Lucky Strike Corporation, it's Toby Keith, who just passed away this year. Toby Keith had bought this company, and he's resurrecting it, and he went to Jimmy, and he said, listen, Jimmy, I'm gonna come back with your Redman spinnerbait. So I really like this thing. It's really, 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 really good. So I got all the Redman spinnerbaits I'm going to take down to Mexico as well, and so I got all these ready to go. But now, that's one thing. The other thing, of course, is there's some deep structure there, and I like to fish deep. I got some active target stuff, and I got some good depth finders on the boat that Pedro has, and we're going to be jigging some spoons, and I have all sorts of worms and stuff. Okay, now at that trip, then from there we're going to fly back to Houston. And we're going to get back. I'm going to be with Jimmy now again. I'm going to come back and I'll meet him up at Toledo Bend. We're going to do some crappie fishing. We're going to do some bass fishing on Toledo Bend. I finally got my boat ready. Now, last Friday, I was putting this active target on. I had to go back up to Tampa and get a brand new trolling motor because my trolling motor wasn't exactly the right size. So I replaced the trolling motor. It's all working good now. And I'll put the rite height deal on here. I'm going to show you that rite height. This is so cool. The rite height is such a cool deal because see what this allows you to do is that forward-facing sonar normally is attached to the shaft that's pointing that way. But now with the rite height, I can, with this pedal, see this thing? Okay, I can make it come around. Now, right, for example, if I had the trolling motor in the water and I was looking at some fish and I had to steer some, I would have to move the head of the trolling motor. and it would come off wherever I was looking, the fish and stuff. But with the right height, I can hold that on the fish or the structure or the rock or the dock or the log, and then move the trolling motor however I want, and move this independently to the fish and the cover and the structure that I want to cast to. Now on the top of the thing, you notice there's an arrow. If you notice at the top of the depth finder, at the top of the trolling motor, that thing moves around, and whatever is pointed when it's in the water is where the active target is going to be picking up the signal. So you cast to that arrow. So that's the thing that we can, no matter where it is, you can always tell where the active target is centered by looking at the arrow and cast that way. Now we also have another product that Jimmy and I are working with, and it's a Spike It product. Don Rollins has come up with this new enhanced active target and enhanced forward-facing sonar. You put it on the bait, and it's got a metallic substance to it, and it lights it up. And so as you look out there, you throw your bait out there, it shows up really good on the screen. It enhances the signal, and so it's a better, brighter, stronger signal, and you can now see where your lure is. Well, you see the fish and you see the structure. Now you see the lure. Okay, so that's what we're going to also be working with for that. Okay, gosh, I've had such a big deal. Now the big deal also is one thing that I did. I went down to O'Reilly. You know, I use O'Reilly's all the time, and one of the things that O'Reilly has, they have the Superstart batteries. They have these big Superstart batteries. And let me just show you what I got in the back here. This is so cool. It's just taken me all week to do this, but I had to come in and I had to redo all my batteries now. So I now have brand new 120 amp Superstart batteries. Now I also have an AGM battery, which is an advanced glass mat technology battery. It's for the main engines, because I'm running all these electronics. I need a lot of power, because when I turn all the depth finders on, you know, you might drain the battery. Plus you have live wells and stuff like that. So I have all the battery components I need now. And I have the best batteries you could possibly get. The AGM, of course, for the main engine. And then I have what we call the marine deep cycle batteries. These are wet batteries. They're regular batteries with regular acid batteries that we have, but they're exquisite. They really work good. So now I have all new batteries. Now, you know, that's makes such a big difference, because when I'm going down to Toledo Bend, that's one thing. The week after, I'm going down to Plaquemines Parish, and we have a contract to go down there and film, and we'll stay with Foster and the Woodlands Plantation and all the people, and I'll be with Mike Frenette, and I'll be doing all kind of stuff. But going out in the Gulf of Mexico, now when you go out in the Gulf of Mexico with the bass boat, you better have good batteries. You better have plenty of gas. You better have a good weather forecast, because you're dealing with big water. So anyway, I have all that, and so I have all the communications and all the depth finders and all the electronics and all the batteries, and I'm set for whatever the Delta of the Mississippi Delta has to offer. It could be some offshore stuff at the oil rigs. It could be some I don't know. It could be big redfish out on the jetties at the Southwest Pass. Oh, speaking of that, let me just show you something else. One of the things I do a lot, and I've done this a lot with different people, is I take these popping corks, and this is so cool. And I get down around the jetties, and I'll just show you a popping cork. Okay, what this is a popping cork, and that's about a half ounce weight, and it's a swim jig, and that's about 50-pound line. I'll tell you why it's 50-pound line real quick. And so when you pull this thing, see it goes like this. This thing goes up and down. And so when you pull it with the lure, it actually makes a snapping, popping sound, because it's hitting that stuff's hitting right there. You can't hear it now, but in the water, it makes a sound, and it attracts the fish. Now, why you have 50-pound line is for this reason. A lot of times, a big 20 or 30-pound big bull red will grab the lure, and it's pulling it through the water. And guess what? There's a school of fish, and that thing's pulling around behind it, and another big 20 or 30-pound bull red grabs it right here, and they start pulling against each other. And if you have light line, they'll break it. They'll break your line. So you really need, when you have two big giant fish pulling, of course, you won't catch this one. There's no hooks on that. but they grab it hard enough where it'll break the line if you have light line. So anyway, that's a popping cork deal, and I use that with a big flipping stick, and we get down on the jetties, kind of way out in the Gulf of Mexico, really, and boy, we really catch some big old giant bull reds about like that. That's kind of what we're going to be doing. And anyway, I'm packing up the last little thing right here. The boat's just about ready to go. Father's Day's coming up. My daughter and is coming over, and my son's fishing a tournament right now. Hope he does well. But anyway, folks, it's been great. And you know, I try to bring you what I'm doing. It's important to know what I'm planning on doing and what my week has been. But I try to bring some information to the table to show you some patterns on fishing, not only in this case bass, but possibly the saltwater fish down in the Venice, Louisiana area. But anyway, I will bring all that to you as well. But right now, hey, thanks for watching. Hey, give O'Reilly a shout and give Bass Pro a shout. Hit that likes button if you would. Hey, son, we'll see you again soon, and thanks for watching. Oh, one other thing. I only have 2 days left. I'm sorry, I only have 2 days left the month of July for my summer guide fee. I mean, I have about 20 days all booked from now to the end of July. But anyway, I only have 2 days left, and then we're shutting down in August and September. We're not going to be doing much guide work then because I got other film work to do, and it's just hot and everything else. We're doing some other stuff. But I'll be back on the water again guiding in October, November, December, so it'll be another fall season. And Headwaters is alive and well. We're catching a fool out of them. I'm telling you, it's a big deal. But only 2 days left for the guide season this year. And if to get that guide thing set up, go to judym at fishingwithrolandmartin.com. Hey, and it'll get you into the website. You can book a nice trip, and hey, I'll take you out and we'll catch a beautiful bass out there on Headwaters. That'll be a promise. Anyway, we'll see you again soon, and thanks for watching.